almost every parent, the death of a child, even an adult child, is unimaginable. The American Gold Star Mothers National Corporation is a nonprofit organization that brings mothers together who have lost a son or a daughter in service to celebrate their children's memories. Here to tell us what Gold Star moms and families want us to know about Memorial Day is the national president of the organization, Mona Gunn. Mona, thank you so much for being with us here on this important day.
Thank you for having me.
You know, Mona, Memorial Day is about those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Your son was one of those individuals. How do you want us to remember him, and what do you want people to know about what he did?
Yes, my son was a 22-year-old sailor stationed on board the USS-Co. He was one of 4 boys, my middle son. My husband was a 21-year Navy veteran, and my son Sharon followed his dad's footsteps and decided to join the service as well and was stationed on board the USS-Co. However, he only had a 9-month service time. He was killed in the terrorist attack on the USS-Co. And I want others to remember and know that any of the military members who serve our country, there's only about less than 1% who choose to serve. And we have our freedoms today in this country because of our service members like my son, who chose to serve his country in the United States Navy.
Mona, you know, your son gave the full measure, Sharon. Has this changed your view of Memorial Day over the years, how you originally viewed it to now being a Gold Star mom?
Yes, it has. You know, typically you'll find that people go out and celebrate Memorial Day as a time to go to the beach, to have family picnics, barbecues, to go camping, to have shopping, go shopping. And as a Gold Star mother, we take this day as a day to honor the service of our children. So there are some Americans who know the important meaning of Memorial Day. It's a mindful day, a day to stop and think about all of those servicemen and women who died on active duty in serving our country. So yes, as Gold Star moms, we take time to go to the cemetery and we place a wreath, we place flowers on the grave sites of our heroes.
Thank you for doing that. That's, you know, it's interesting how you're right. So many people look at it as a day off or a day to go to the beach or have a barbecue. But there's a lot of people who paid the price so that we can have this day. The thing that I think is noteworthy of your son, what happened to your son, is that often we hear about people who died in war or in battle. The attack on the Cole wasn't in the middle of a war. And it's a reminder that everybody who serves in the military is willing to make a sacrifice no matter what day it is or where it is, and that they're always out there in the line of fire, in danger.
Yes, that's true. I have a button that I wear with my son's picture, and it states, before 9/11, there was 10/12. And of course, the USS-Co attack was a terrorist attack that occurred about 11 months before 9/11. We were at peace. And a lot of people misunderstand our organization and think it should be only for those who are killed in combat. But we have members, mothers who have children that have been killed in combat. In the global war on terrorism, we still have some Vietnam moms in our organization as well, but we also have those who've been killed in training accidents. We have those who've been killed in a number of ways, but they're on active duty. They chose to serve their country by being in the military, and they die while they're on active duty. So it doesn't matter whether it's combat or non-combat deaths. The DOD provides 2 kinds of pins with gold stars on it. Some are combat and some are non-combat. And we were not at combat on October 12, 2000, when my son was killed. We were not at war.
Mona, as the president of this organization, how do these mothers support each other, specifically during Memorial Day, but throughout the year? Because I know that the day that your son or daughter died is also a very important day and brings back many memories. How do you support each other?
Yeah, we call that day an angelversary. And of course, our mission is to find fellowship with other Gold Star moms. But we want to keep alive the memory of our sons and daughters. And our sons and daughters would have been veterans if they lived. So we're very supportive of veterans. We volunteer within our communities across the country at VA hospitals. We support veterans. Our founder, Grace Darling Sebo, whose son was killed in World War I, found that self-contained grief was self-destructive. So we are a service organization. So as members of this organization, we come together and we do things to support veterans as well as active duty military who are serving overseas. We do care packages to those troops who are serving. We do things in our community. We support our veteran service organizations. So that's what we do when we come together. People like to honor us, but we find that giving back to others is the way to help us move forward and honor the legacy of our sons and daughters.
Mona, you mentioned it a little bit, but what are you going to do on this Memorial Day, or what have you done to honor your son?
Due to the global pandemic that we're in, things are a little different this year, and we're having virtual events that we're participating in. So I've given a speech in Sarasota National Cemetery in Florida is having a virtual event, and our members are participating in other events. On our website, we're going to have a slideshow of our sons and daughters. On our social media page, we're going to be posting pictures of our sons and daughters. And we want the public to know that you have your freedom today because of the sacrifice of our sons and daughters who served and died. So those are the things that we'll be doing. There will be lots of things going on through the VA. I'm participating in a live chat with veterans tomorrow through the VA. So there are things that we're doing that will show that we serve just like our children serve.
Well, Mona, I want to wish you a happy Memorial Day. I want to thank your son for his service and his sacrifice, and for all you and the Gold Star moms do to support each other and to make sure that we can have a day like this to remember all of the people that have sacrificed.
And I thank you for having me. And definitely, we want our sons and daughters to not be forgotten. We always say, visit a cemetery and say those names again.
That's absolutely right. Anyway, thank you. That's great advice. Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you.
Coming up, we're talking to a Medal of Honor recipient on remembering our fallen heroes. Stay with us.